Hi, my name is Timothy Lee, and I'm the author of the book Carry On My Worried Son, a book about 60s rock and roll music and self-identity. When I first started writing the book, it started as a simple story about 60s and 70s rock music and its impact on American politics. A very simple story, but I think as I kept writing and the project kept becoming bigger, I realized that if I was going to remain committed to something like this, it not only had to be about something I was passionate about, but it also had to reflect myself as well. I had to see something, a little bit of myself in the book. While it still is a book about rock and roll music and its impact on American politics and society, it also became a commentary about US racial politics, especially amongst minorities, the Korean American identity and experience, self-identity amongst college kids and young adults, and finding their place in a world that can be harsh and cruel. And it's also a commentary on mental health and how we find ourselves in tough places. These are all themes that I was personally interested in, have experienced as a college student myself, and I figured as this project grew, I wanted it to be a reflection of both my passions and myself as well. In terms of the perspective and viewpoint of a book like this, I think what makes Carry On My Worried Son stand out from other sort of literary fiction within this genre is that mine feels more personal and authentic and deep. That's not to say that other books within this genre aren't. Stuff like The Great Gatsby and To Kill a Mockingbird, they definitely are personal and authentic and deep. What I'm saying is that my book feels the most personal and authentic and unique because it feels like something only I could have written. Everything from, the references to 60s and 70s music and pop culture to scathing commentaries on stuff like race, Korean American identity, US politics and society, experiences of mental health and what it's like to be a young American in America. This book only could happen because it draws from my own passions. It draws from what I value and what I've gone through in life. And because of that, it feels unique in both in terms of its setting, its writing, and its content, because everything that came to exist because I feel like I was the only person who was capable of bringing these things into fruition. There are a lot of complex themes and thematic ideas that my book tackles. The big ones being how 60s and 70s rock music has impacted American culture, society, and politics, US racial politics, and what it was like in the 90s and how much of it has changed since then, the Korean American identity experience, self-identity and mental health amongst college kids and young adults who are still trying to find their place in a really big world, and ultimately just finding purpose in life and finding a reason to fulfill that purpose and live life to its fullest. The world of Carry On My Worried Son. So the book takes place during the early 1990s of Koreatown, Los Angeles. During this time, a lot of major real historical events will play a key role in both the setting and the plot of the book, like the Rodney King beatings and the LA riots of 1992. And in terms of the character itself, so there are a bunch of characters that are explored in this book, but the main character of this book is a Korean American named Jude. He's a record dealer in Koreatown, Los Angeles. He's a bit lost in life. He doesn't know what he wants to accomplish. He doesn't really know where his life is headed. And ultimately, he goes through these major historical events, and he not only undergoes sort of a physical but also an emotional and intellectual journey about himself, about who he is, what he wants to accomplish, and ultimately what he wants to gain out of life. I think without a doubt the one thing, if there's just one thing that I hope that people gain from this book is that I want my readers to take something away from this book. Now, I know that's vague, but as I mentioned before, the book tackles a lot of complex themes, and without a doubt, there's going to be at least one idea, one sort of main point that really sticks with the reader, that really connects with them, that makes them go, huh, I relate to that, I resonate with that. And that can be whatever you make it to be. It could be the fact that, maybe you're a rock and roll fan and you appreciate sort of the love and care that's put into the references of 60s and 70s rock music and how it's made its impact on American culture. Maybe you're a minority who could relate to sort of the minority experience, regardless if you're Korean or not, of just what it's like of being a minority in America. Whatever it is that you gain from this book, as long as you gain something, as long as something hit you, something connected with you, then I've done my job as an author. I've done my job of being a great storyteller. I really think anyone can read this book, anyone can enjoy it. Like I said, the book tackles a lot of different complex themes and thematic ideas, so naturally there's going to be at least one that really resonates with a specific reader or audience. But maybe you're a college student like myself who are still trying to navigate through life and they just need that sort of specific direction that they need to find themselves. This book will resonate with you. Maybe you're a Korean American like myself who appreciates sort of this different, unique viewpoint on not just the Korean American identity, but being a minority in America. There's just a lot of things that this book tackles, so naturally there's just going to be at least one thing that resonates with a specific reader. Like I said, anyone can read this, and I think that was my goal. As long as I tackle all these different themes, the more it's going to relate to different people of different kind. My name is Timothy Lee, and I welcome you to the start of my literary journey.